give one of these to Fife Symington.
You guys have the system down, Tony.
They do.
I'm telling you. Like nobody's business.
Did you know the oldest living triplets?
You know that this whole thing about the stage name was Grant Wood's and Dave Pratt's idea. They went to the folks at the fair, and the people, nice people at the fair, said, "Okay."
That's what a couple of years later.
I hear music.
There you go. Very much.
Did you eat the stuff out of the bag? Is it what did you take for?
Now your mom's gonna get mad at me for doing that. Maybe a little Wallace? What do you think? No? Okay. How about a future Marshall Good? No? Okay. Hey, if I've ever seen the future Bothrow, this is it.
I know, and they're no longer there. No, not at all.
Ladmo in the sky with almonds. Ladmo in the sky with almonds.
I was harmonizing.
Oh, we were both harmonizing.
You harmonized.
The camera broke.
You break the camera there. Renaming the Lagoon stage, the Wallace and Ladmo stage. Ladmo would have loved it.
Forever and ever and ever, when kids say, "What's a Ladmo?" See, they're going to be able to say, "Well, he's the guy that they named this after." A gentleman just came up to me and he said, "Do you remember who got the last Ladmo bag?" And I said, "Yeah, it was at Ladmo's funeral, and Wallace and I gave it to the lucky seat winner, who happened to be one of the ladies in the few's pregnant lady." Excuse me, pregnant lady. Pregnant lady. Pregnant lady isn't pregnant anymore. This is Shannon. Okay, Shannon, always make sure that you get that close up. And this is the winner of the last Ladmo bag at a church in Tempe, Ladmo's funeral. And I just met Shannon for the first time. And boy, I tell you, we're going to have to keep track of this lady.
Same thought, and well, then we can do that for Wallace.
Okay, we're ready to go.
I get to do something that I've wanted to do since I was a little kid living out west in Goodyear and Avondale. I got to be on stage with some of my heroes from my youth, and it's a thrill, and it's a thrill to do this dedication tonight. Sometimes when you work with a board, it's very difficult to get them to all agree on something. One side's pulling one way, one side's pulling the other. In this case, it took no prodding at all. With 5 minutes, it was passed to dedicate this stage to Wallace and Ladmo. It didn't take a second thought by the board to say, this is what we need to do, this is what we want to do, for years and years of dedication and service on their part. And I'm thrilled to be at this point tonight. And I thank you all very much for coming in here tonight.
I'd like to pay a special greeting to Bill and to Patsy and to Pat McMahon. Pat, you're going to make a great governor someday. He's grinning. And also to Attorney General Grant Woods. This is a very festive occasion. I'm happy to be here at the opening of the State Fair and to be cutting the ribbon. But it's all the more delightful because of the stage, the new stage, and what it stands for, the Wallace and Ladmo stage. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of that. And so I'm happy to be here, and congratulations to everyone involved. And I hope this fair is as successful as any we've seen in our history, and I'm sure it will be. So enjoy. Thank you very much.
At our house in Mesa, if it was 4 o'clock, you know where the kids were, and you knew what was on television. We were in front of the television watching the Wallace and Ladmo show. We tuned in for the cartoons because that was the only place showing cartoons. But we also tuned in to see all of these guys, to see Wallace and to see Ladmo and to see all of Pat's crazy characters. And every day we learned a little bit about justice and injustice. And it was played out in very real terms, as Gerald every day would almost get away with some terrible things. But by the end of the show, justice would prevail and Wallace would somehow figure out, with our help, that it really was Gerald who did the bad things and not Ladmo. I was one of the thousands of kids who followed these guys around at Legend City or at Encano Park or every year right here on this stage. And we screamed and we pleaded for justice. We cheered for Ladmo. Before any one of us had discovered rock and roll, we'd already experienced group hysteria right out here as we watched this show. I think I took it harder than I would have expected when I heard that Ladmo had died. I thought a part of me and a part of my childhood had slipped away when the announcer said those words. Because with Ladmo, we were always laughing, we were always smiling. He got older and we got older, but we were all still kids as long as Ladmo was around. And I started feeling sorry, really not for myself, but for today's children. They'll have to sort through a whole world of cynicism to find true goodness out there in today's world. But back then, all we had to do was come to the State Fair or tune into our television on Channel 5 at 4 o'clock. Now all we have to do is close our eyes and remember the joy and the caring and the love that these guys brought to us every day that helped make our childhood a happy time. So I guess for all the kids, young and older now, I am here to thank you guys. I'm here to thank Ladmo as he takes a break, I think, from playing with the children up there in heaven, and to thank Wallace, and to thank Pat, to thank you for the great memories, sure, but also to thank you for being such an important part of a very important thing. Happy childhood. A happy childhood that for all of us led to a happy life. Thank you.
The stage shows allowed Ladmo to be part of your special day. He loved making the kids laugh, having a child's eyes light up when given a Ladmo bag.
I don't know about Fife, but I used to get corn dogs off of my noggin, and, you know, dodging produce was not exactly my idea of a career. By the way, I work for a news talk station, so I'm obligated to consider the equal time part of the FCC demands on us. The produce came from Bash's. He's smiling. Was this in the Ladmo bag? And what was the Lagoon stage, but in fact we always thought of as the Lagoon stage. This is special. It was special for 35 years. And I guess more than anything, for those of us who are in a business that's supposed to be very temporary, it brings added permanence and a kind of a forever to the names Wallace and Ladmo. Thank you.
Well, you know, you guys have heard from some true VIPs tonight, the Attorney General, the Governor, Pat, Wallace, Patsy. You're probably wondering, how did Pratt get invited to this thing? Truth is, I gave them all KISS concert tickets for tomorrow night, so it does work. I was 7 years old with a little buzzed haircut, and I won Herbie the Love Bug movie premiere tickets off Wallace and Ladmo at the Cine Capri Theater on Camelback, all right? Sorry to mention I was only 7, guys. Sorry, man. Okay. Anyway, at the Cine Capri, and Ladmo said, look under your seat. If you have a special ticket, you win a Ladmo bag. Sure enough, I looked under my seat. I had a ticket. I got to go up on stage. 26 years later, I made it again, baby! Yeah! Yeah! I want to remind you before we unveil the sign that the new Wallace and Ladmo book will be available at the KUPD booth throughout the fair. They only printed 5,000 of these, the original copies. All the proceeds go to the Phoenix Children's Hospital, and that's a dear charity to Wallace and Ladmo, so let's give them a hand. Jeannie, Carol, great job with the book.
I have a seating chart. We're going to find some lucky seat winners. They're going to get Ladmo bags. But I want Sharon Kelly to come up here and tell you how you're all going to get a Ladmo bag from Channel 5. Sharon? She was our director for 10 years. What's the deal?
I think everyone gets a Ladmo bag.
All right. There's a Wallace and Ladmo club here. They're going to help me. Get a life!
Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hey!
The first 1,000 people will get Ladmo bags on this side of the stage. So just kind of take your time. There's less than that sitting here. So just relax.
It's such a long story, you don't want to be bored with it.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, geez. These are copies of your first artwork. Oh, jeez, this is a treasure. I haven't seen this stuff in 40 years. These are the first reprints of your... Yeah. You've been great for the community, and I've always been glad to say I know Bill Thompson. Oh, thanks, Tim.
Sign mine.
Okay.
Don't leave. Good speech. I don't like that. Just give her a... You got a writer now. You have a built-in writer? Yeah, I definitely have a built-in writer. I need a writer. Do you think maybe he could work out? Hey, it's Tony, that famous golfer. Yeah, right, that famous golfer. Did you see him? Won the tournament. Yeah. He's good. His new nickname, Into. Into the rough. Into the water. Into the sand. Yeah, it's Tony Into us. All right.
Are they going to autograph?
Wonderful. I didn't.